Breaking news now at 6:13. You're seeing only on 10 TV. A new initiative just announced by Lieutenant Governor John Husted. It's called the Social Media Parental Notification Act. Husted says he wants companies like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok to first get parents to consent before a child under the age of 16 can open an account. The question is, will it work? One of many questions we asked the Lieutenant Governor 24 hours ago when we first learned about this plan.
Well, the real reason behind it is our children are suffering. They're suffering from mental health issues. As the governor said in the State of the State, he quoted Desmond Tutu, who said, "We keep pulling bodies out of the water. We need to look upstream to find the cause." Well, the cause of many of the mental health issues and challenges our children are facing are directly as a result of social media and technology in their lives. Algorithms that are very harmful to them, content that's very harmful to them, data being collected on them, and it's time that we step up and do more about it.
So you have his verification process that it's a little lengthy, right? And it requires parents signing the splash page consent and then verifying who they are, emails going back and forth. What is stopping a kid from saying, "Hey, Johnny, pretend you're my dad"?
What we believe will happen is that with the process we've designed is that the children sign on, their parents have to validate, you have to put in addresses and all of that kind of information. Then the social media company is required to send those parents to that address a letter validating that they know their children has signed up for this account. Like any law, there are ways certainly that you could find a way around it, but we're really just trying to empower parents to create more parental awareness about what's going on with their children, to get parents involved at perhaps denying this or putting filters that have limitations on the content that they're receiving.
Can I pick up on that and have you talk about the companies? What kind of feedback or buy-in do you anticipate or have you already received?
Well, the companies know that this is harmful, but they're making billions of dollars off of it, and right now doing very little to protect our children. And I expect that there will be some companies that will push back, but I hope that they will embrace the recognition that they have a responsibility in this, that it's harmful for our children, and we invite them into this legislative process to offer alternatives and how we all can get better at this. But they need to be forced to the table. This will force them to the table.
You say they should have some responsibility in this. So how can this be enforced? Will the state have any power with this proposal that they could go after social media companies, or does this kind of fall on the parent to kind of self-police?
No, the state can take action against the companies if they don't comply with what they're being asked to do. There could be both eventually legal and civil ramifications for them if they don't do it.
Where do we draw the line with social media versus like a search engine? How far does this proposal go?
We're focused on children under the age of 16, social media apps, and some gaming platforms, because that's where the problem lies. We're not talking about e-commerce or other things like that. We're trying to very narrowly tailor this.
Is there an education piece or empowerment piece for parents? Because I hate to say this, but our kids are a little bit smarter than we are when it comes to technology.
Just a smidge.
Mama knows everything but except that. And you know, is there something for parents? Is there a part of this that parents need to educate themselves on instead of saying, it's just social media?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be posting tools for children or for parents to filter and to block and to protect against and give them more information about what their children are doing online. Think about this. You wouldn't let a stranger into your house to have a private conversation with your child in their room, but that's happening if you're not in control of their social media because strangers are getting access to them through these apps.
So this is giving it a little teeth, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So we are working to put up the full interview with the Lieutenant Governor online later this morning. You can find that right after the show on our 10TV News app, also on 10TV.com. Now, keep in mind, platforms like Facebook and Instagram clearly state account holders have to be over the age of 13. And if parents find out their kids have an account and aren't supposed to, well, you can delete it. But this act that is now part of the state budget, it has to go through hearings, needs to get approval, and so on and so forth. But the Lieutenant Governor says this is just another layer of protection for our kids, which is why we're dedicating so much time to this, because it comes to the safety of our children. So we know Connecticut also has a similar consent act like this that came out last year, but that one's still going through the process.
And he did point out, and you can see this in that online interview, this is a bipartisan. He's hoping to get some bipartisan and buy into this because it affects everybody.
It sure does.
And that proposal months and months ahead of work ahead of them, too.
Yeah.